Welcome to the Suitcase, a platform that is meant to delve into the narratives of individuals residing outside the shores of their respective nations of birth, their struggles and triumph, and how these narratives can help inspire you travelers and potential travelers regarding the challenges and opportunities of life outside the shores of your respective nations of birth. Join the Suitcase weekly on Teledar TV with me, Tony Michael Howard.
Of course, I bring you a very special greetings here on the Suitcase, a platform that is meant to speak to the narrative of individuals residing outside the shores of the respective nations of earth. Remember, every travel comes with experiences, good or bad. But guess what? There is no bad day in a man's life. Do you know why? Because good days make you happy, whereas bad days give you the experiences to learn from. That's the essence of the Suitcase. And for today's edition of the Suitcase, I'm super proud and honored to be hosting a very beautiful, humble, respectful, well-mannered Liberian, Africa's oldest republic she hails from, who is going to be on the show tonight to share her expertise regarding her stories, both struggles and triumph. But before we get to her, I give you the motivation of the day that says, from Sunday to Monday is short, but from Monday to Sunday is very far. How do I mean? If you evaluate your friendship and you notice that there is a friend in your life who you are very easily accessible to them in times of need. When they are sick, they call you, you're ready. Midnight, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, 5 a.m., you're set to listen to what the concerns or challenges are. You write to them, you are at their beck and call. Whenever they contact you, you are ready to step in and be of assistance to that friend in every ramification. That is like from Sunday to Monday, very close, 24 hours. On the other hand, if that same friend, you are in need, dead need of that friend, and they're not available for you, it's like from Monday to Sunday. You know, from Monday to Sunday requires you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday before Sunday. But from Sunday to Monday, it's just 24 hours. When you call them, you can't get them. In times of need, they are not available. But when they are in need, you are available. It's like you are their Sunday to their Monday. Whereas when it is time for you, you are like it's Sunday from their Monday, far distance. What do? Those are not friends. Instead, they are what I call economic parasite, opportunists, who are only in your life to gain from you, but you gain nothing from them. Do not be like a power bank where they only get to you when they are low. You know, when you have a mobile phone and you have a power bank, you only turn to your power bank when your mobile phone is low. Do not be like that for any friend. So, check your contact list and see which friend that is with you based on your personal interest and delete them from your life. Because every friend that is in your life is either to make you or break you. This remains the Suitcase. We'll take a short break, and once we return, I introduce our guest on stage who is here to share her stories, both struggles and triumph. And I hope that it enlightens someone somewhere. We'll take our short break show.
We've got fantastic new social media bundles just for you. Here are your options.
50 megabytes for $10 is valid for 1 day.
Enjoy 400 megabytes for $40, valid for 7 days.
Get a massive 1,200 megabytes for $100 is only, valid for 7 days.
Simply dial *120# and press 3 to pick the social media bundle that suits you best. Subscribe now.
Why settle for one when you can talk with two? With the AfriCell TOK service. For just $99, you get a massive 1,200 minutes of talk time to share between your two favorite people. To activate, dial *135#, select your two AfriCell numbers, and you're locked in for a full month of conversations. AfriCell, connecting you to your peoples.
Welcome back from that short break here. Like I says, this is the Suitcase, where young people from all walks of life that are residing outside the shores of their respective nations of earth are given an opportunity to share their stories so as to enlighten or inspire the traveler or potential traveler regarding the challenges and opportunities of life outside the shores of the respective nations. And we are here on the launching of this show with a young Liberian businesswoman who's going to be sharing her story. She happens to be Miss Mercy Witherspoon. Should I say welcome to the show? We're super proud and honored to be launching this show with you.
Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here.
Okay.
Thank you so much again.
You're here from the House's Mouth. It's beautiful to have you here today. And let me say, you look vital and bloodsome in terms of beauty. What's the secret behind your beauty for the day?
It's maintenance. And also I'm here with my makeup artist, Tiwa's Touch.
Okay.
He's one of the best in the Gambia. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Africa's oldest republic.
Yeah.
That's Mama Liberia,
yeah.
Almost 179 years old. You know, that the nation that taught the rest of Africa independence. And being on a show here today, you've been introduced as a Liberian, young businesswoman residing in this country, but from a personal background, from a family orientation, siblings, who is Miss Witherspoon as well as from personality point of view? Who are you?
I am Mercy Witherspoon, a Liberian, and I was born to the union of Mr. and Mrs. Witherspoon, and 4 siblings, 2 boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
So, my parents are back home.
Okay.
Still together, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Your parents are back home still together. It's really great hearing that. But describe your family from a parent perspective. Are they the kind of people from humble backgrounds, or are they very affluent in terms of good standing financially? Or tell us about them.
Well, I would say they're okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just a middle class family. Okay, just a middle class family. Talk to us. When you were growing up back home in Mama Liberia, your homeland, at what point in time did you ever nurture the courage, the desire, the impression of leaving your homeland to find greener pasture outside Liberia? What was the motive for mission you want to share with us? Yeah. I was just gotten out of high school, and it was my 2nd semester in college.
Okay.
But I had this friend that was he just wanted to leave the country.
Okay.
So, and we were going out, of course. So he's like, maybe we should go to France or somewhere.
Sorry, when you say we were going out, how do you mean? Relationship?
Yeah, relationship wise, yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, maybe we should go somewhere, I just want to leave Liberia. I think that was prior to him being a refugee in Ghana.
Okay.
So he wanted to leave the country. So I was like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. I would love to, go outside and also experience, So we started doing paperwork, and long story short, everything worked out for him and the others, and it did not work for me.
Okay.
So I was just tense, and I wanted to, because I was, I like the guy, and I'm like, oh, I just want to leave Liberia. I just want to go anywhere. So this student visa thing was coming out with China. China, there were a lot of people leaving from Liberia to China to go in school. So I'm like, maybe I should give it a try.
Okay.
And that was how I got the visa, and I was able to go to China. But anyways, I did everything by myself, pretty much, because my family wasn't really in favor of me leaving home. They wanted me to stay and go to school and continue with my education. Because by then I was in the Stella Maris Polytechnic, so they just wanted me to continue my education. So I'm like, I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay. So I left for China with $150 in my pocket. I wasn't financially stable, I would call it. And the person, I knew one person there, and by the time I got to China, he was already in prison. I don't know what happened. Wow. But yeah, so it's like I was in a strange land. I don't know anybody. Okay. It was just it wasn't a great experience. Yeah, it wasn't a great start for me, I would say. Yeah.
When you say it wasn't a great start for you, how challenging was it? And then how did you triumph over that challenge? Imagine leaving your homeland for the first time, somebody says, Johnny, just come. You know nothing about that country, the whole China, different continent, different people, culture, so to speak. And the only person you knew there is already in jail, and you got there. How challenging was it, and how did you triumph and find your feet?
Well, it was challenging because first of all, I didn't have enough funds to sponsor my trip. Okay. I just had my ticket, and the remaining money was $150. And in China, that's not a lot of money to to survive on.
Okay.
So I got introduced to like the Liberian community, and some people took me in, and I started to just do stuff on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you find your feet in that strange land.
Right.
So ever since you want to say something?
No, you go ahead.
So of all of your experiences in China, and how long did you stay there?
I was there for probably 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. Were your target achieved? You went for the schooling purpose. Did you achieve that?
No, the student visa thing got canceled. So it was me in there, and I wasn't on any visa, so I was illegal in the country. That's something else, that was illegal, because when they cancel your visa, they give you time to exit the country. Okay. But I'm like, I'm not going back home. I don't have any money. I don't want people to look at me to be a failure. I just got here. I'm not going to go back. So that was it.
So we go back. Your decision to have left your country was traced to the fact that you were intensely frustrated as a result of you not joining your guy for Ghana or wherever he went, and you had to take a student visa against the advice of your parents.
Well, I was mad at him for a while because, I felt like it could have worked out for me also. Okay. But by then I was pretty young, so the understanding wasn't really there.
Yeah, but what was the reaction of your parents, knowing full aware that you were at a very tender age at a time, and then in violation to the order, stay here and go to school, and you chose a decision against their will? What was their initial reaction?
They were worried, they were stressed. They wanted me to immediately come back home. They always, check in, and they're like, you just have to come back. If everything is not okay, you have your tickets, you can I'm like, I want to experience this. I want to just do it for myself. I want to experience everything by myself. Okay. I'm just tired of people telling me what to do.
Okay, you wanted to hold your own destiny in your own hands.
Right. I felt like I was a big girl.
Okay, you're a big girl. But I think you're a big girl now, perhaps not at a time.
Right.
So drive us through from China to the you're in Gambia. There must have been other experiences outside China to other nations, and so to speak. You want to drive us through that experience also?
Oh, yeah. Well, from China, I went back home, of course. I was in Liberia 2018. Okay. And I spent like 10 months. I was okay. Okay. I was all right. And I left. I was on my way to Thailand, but then I needed to apply for this Thailand visa because they don't have the embassy in Liberia. So I had to I think it would be nice, I heard about ACON and but then I didn't know where Senegal was or Gambia. So I got to Senegal, and it was great. I had my hotel booked. I was to stay for maybe a week. Let's say I had, everything planned out for a week. And
what changed?
Well, everything changed when I decided to go out, to go hang out to the club, and I was introduced to some guy. Okay. And that really took a turn on my life, honestly.
Positively?
Negatively.
Do you want to share with us?
Yeah, I can share a little bit.
Ahead, please.
So I had everything planned out. So I was to get my visa within 3 business days and fly out of the country. But when I met this guy, he was pretty much convincing, I can do, because I still wanted to be with this other guy. I felt like, if I get the Schengen visa, I can just go to, my guy, of course.
So the second guy in the picture was more of a transit point.
Exactly.
Or just to keep the burden less at the meantime till you get to where you belong.
So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work along with you. And he told me, the process and everything, but he wasn't really honest with me. He wasn't honest. So he took huge sum of money from me. Wow. And and I was, cause I had money for shopping, hotel, and I was okay when I left back home. I had a lot of money with me to sponsor my trip and, play around, shopping, whatever. So I was doing a lot of shopping without realizing, because all I know is that, I'm gonna go, get my Schengen visa, or I'm gonna get my, things put together, and I would just leave here. Okay. So he told me it was gonna take 5 weeks. 5 weeks became 5 months, and it just went on and on. And by the time I knew, I only had like $500, in my pocket. So now I'm wondering, I don't have a place to stay. I don't have anything of my own. I'm just stuck in this country called Senegal. And it was a very bad experience because there was a time where I had to like stay at a friend's place, and she ended up, putting me out. It was just bad. It was bad, yeah.
Yeah, but tell me the instance where you've lost huge amounts of money from somebody who was promised to help you out. What was the instant psychological effect or impact it had on you, and how did you maneuver your way through with only $500 in your pocket?
Well, like I said, it took a great, turn on me, because then I got introduced to going out, to bars and meeting people.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that wasn't a good thing to do, to go out there and, hang out with people that I'm not supposed to be hanging out with. Because I didn't do that back home, and I was in the party type, but then I started partying, I started meeting different people and stuff like that. So yeah, that, because I had to like, of course, I needed some money to rent, some place to stay and all that. So yeah, that really kind of took a turn on me.
Okay, so did you have any element of regrets of whatever life you must have lived to have survived, maybe risky? Did you live in a risky life, or so to speak, within a period where you needed a way out?
I wouldn't call it risky.
Okay.
Because it was just me being introduced to people and hanging out and stuff like that. Yeah. But in other words, yeah, it has, risk. There are risks to those kind of lifestyle. Okay.
Tell us how you drove out of that tight moment and to get to your next destination. Is it destination Gambia?
Yep, the next destination is Gambia.
How did you got out of that state after being defeated by a cheating person who took your cash away? You living a life that is outside what you planned for yourself, and then how did you get out?
I needed to go to school because my family background is just all about, they feel like you should go to school, acquire some education so you can be independent and whatever. So I'm like, I can't stay in this country because this is, French-speaking country, and I can't stay here to go to school. I can't do business or anything. So I'm like, maybe I should, look up some other place. So I got introduced to this friend, Darling, and she was like, you should come to Gambia and, you should come. Things are not okay for you in Senegal. You should come here and maybe you will love it. So when I got here the first time, of course, I met you. And yeah, the same day we met. Okay. And I noticed that it's a small country and people are friendly. And yeah,
I slightly forgot how we met though.
We met at the Liberian bar
and restaurant.
Bar and restaurant, yes. And I was asking for my friend's Darling. Okay. But then she was working in the kitchen. Okay. They used to own the kitchen. They were working selling food. So yeah.
So you're talking about your arrival in Gambia. We're very sorry for whatever you must have experienced during your travel, but that's what made you the kind of person you are today. So if you were to describe your experience in the Gambia upon arrival here, that initial experience, what sort of country greeted you? Well, how was the Gambia initially?
Gambia wasn't it wasn't gravy. It wasn't rosy from the beginning, but with time, that's why they call it the smiling coast, because with time, and determination, I wanted to go to school. I wanted to start my own business. I just wanted to do something. Okay. So yeah, Gambia,
Did you achieve the desires, wanting to go to school, wanting to do business, and how do you go about it, if you ever achieve any?
Yeah, I did. I went to the Insight. It's an Insight training. Institute. I kind of practiced journalism for a little while. Okay. And I was at the N24, just looking for stories and, just trying to do something. Because then I had this friend that was really, pushing me. He wanted me to he wanted me to make something out of life. He just, you know, he just wanted me to do something.
When you say his friend, is it a casual friend or relationship?
Relationship.
Okay, but he wanted you to be developed.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a white guy, a Canadian guy, very nice, and he always, you know, talk to me and tell me, Mercy, you have to do something. You can, you know, continue to live your life like this. You know, you can't depend on people. You have to do something. You have to make something out of your life. Whatever it is, you have to stay focused. So yeah, I took that serious. I went to the journalism school, practiced a little bit, like I said, but it wasn't paying my bills. Again, you know, in Africa, journalism don't really have money.
It's challenging.
Right.
In terms of remuneration.
Right. So I wanted to freelance also, but I'm like, okay, maybe I should just venture into something else. So then I started doing the Senegal and Gambia business. I started, you know, going other places to get goods, just to start up. And yeah, eventually that was the start point of everything.
It's getting beautiful here on the Suitcase. We said it is a platform that is meant to delve into the narratives of individuals residing outside the shores of the respective nations of Earth in terms of sharing their challenges and opportunities so that travelers and potential travelers can have an insight of how the experience looked like outside their respective nations of Earth. Quickly, based on your experience in Asia and other places, Senegal and then the Gambia, if you were to do the comparative analysis of your experiences from a cultural, social, and economic background, which of the nation would you say serve you well in terms of profitability, in terms of peace of mind, and then happiness?
I would say Gambia and
Okay. You want to drive us through on what distinctively make Gambia stand out tall among a developed nation like China and then Senegal, a neighboring country, and what made Gambia to stand out?
Well, Gambia feels like home.
Okay.
Gambia, I feel like in Gambia, you know, you can start up a business, small or big, and you can also achieve a lot of potentials. You can also do whatever you want as a young African or as an African. Yeah, so Gambia, yeah, I would say Gambia.
Let's go back to your travels, leaving your homeland, finding yourself in strange countries or countries over the years. You only pop home on holiday. How often do you visit your families back home?
I haven't been home in 5 years or so.
What's the impact does that have on your travel life, staying outside the comfort of your parents where you have no immigration bothering you, no house security differences and cultural differences? What's the impact it has on you staying out of your homeland in foreign nations and with regards to your families as well? Does it have any impact on you?
Not really.
So it just feels at home?
Yeah, Gambia definitely feels, you know, like home.
Okay. That's beautiful. If you were to advise a younger version of you, perhaps some 10, 15 years ago, on errors that you've made, and if the hands of time were to have been turned, what would be the corrective measure you would put to the mistakes that you made in the past?
I think it's very important to listen to your parents, of course. It's important to get knowledge and understanding, education. So just leaving home without any, you know, stable income or financial income, it can really be, you know, it can delay your process. Okay. It can delay your, what would I say?
Next move or
because you need money to move around. These are not African countries like Gambia. When you have $150, of course you can even find a pay for probably a month or two, you know, to rent. But in these countries like China and Thailand and other places, those are not money that, you know, that's not the kind of money that you're gonna rent a place with, you know, or get food. It's not gonna sustain you for you know, for a long time. It's just for a while.
Okay, that's
so. It's important. Okay. Sorry, it's important to get understanding, like I said, and it's very important to be stable before leaving home. Yeah.
If you were to borrow something from the nation state of the Gambia back for your homeland, whether culturally or policies-wise or lifestyle or behavioral pattern, what have you seen in the nation state of the Gambia upon your arrival and stay here that you would love for Liberians or Liberia to emulate as being very befitting for your homeland?
I would say the Gambians, they are simple. They are very simple people. They're not flashy. They're not the flashy type like my country. They're very low profile, exactly. So a Gambian man can have a mansion, and you think that he's he's an apprentice. Okay. But with Liberia, so I would say people should learn to be humble, and achieve what they really want. Okay. Nobody say you shouldn't be, flashy, whatever, but it's important to also stay low key and, just push towards your goals. Yeah.
Have you ever had any element of regret ever in your life based on circumstances or whatsoever? Have you had anything to regret all through your traveling life whatsoever?
Yeah. I would say yes and no.
Okay, so let's get the yes.
Traveling to China was a great experience because I learned a lot of things. I met different people and know because of what I've been through. During those times. So it's not fun. It was fun at some point in time, but not entirely.
At what point did you have to question your decision to have left Liberia? At what event in your life that did you have to ask yourself, like, why did I even take this step in the first place?
Right. So there was a time where I needed to, just get a job and do something. And in China, when you speak English, they kind of hire you to be a elementary teacher, or when you have the, of course, the right documents, you can, even without the right documents, when you're introduced and you speak English, you can also take care of the kids. You can just say hello, hi, and stuff like that, and you get accommodation. So I needed that kind of job to start my life at some point in time. Without proper documents, it was difficult. Okay. So a friend of mine said, "Oh, you can come to it's a shaman, and there are jobs, there are schools here that are hiring for elementary teachers." So I decided to go to Xiamen, took the train 19 hours, I remember. It was like, forever. I got on that slow train, traveled on the other side of China. And when I got there, and that guy wanted to wasn't really a friend, like you said, and he wanted to have a, sexual relationship with me. And he was like, "Oh, this is how it works here. You have to be flexible. You have to, because you need place to sleep and stuff like that." But I took that, as a no. And I moved on from there. But eventually, another friend said, "You can come back to Beijing," because I was based in Beijing. "You can come back to Beijing. I know a guy who, runs a salon, and he needs somebody to take care of the place." And that was how the guy got me my ticket. I went there with a 19-hour train. But the guy, he booked, economy ticket for me, and I went back, and yeah, that's another part, another struggle that I went through in China. Okay. Yeah. So when I got to Beijing, when I met the guy, he was like, "I'm your boss, and we're gonna work during the day, and during the night it's gonna be something else." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You see." So,
but let's get it easy. When he says we're gonna work in the day and work during the night, before prompting your question, what do you mean? Did you have any projective understanding of what he meant?
A little bit, because I saw how he was, kind of reacting to me, and he wanted to see pictures of me, and all that before even booking the flight. So I knew that, it was going to be something else. But I'm like, okay, there are Liberians around and I can handle it.
Okay, we'll hold it there. That's why we're going to take our break shortly. And once we return, we continue the conversation with Ms. Mercy Witherspoon here on The Suitcase. We'll come back shortly.
You can now turn your loyalty points into data or voice bundles. Simply dial *772#, press 1 to check how many points you've got, press 2 to redeem those points. Recharge on AfriCell, buy credit on AfriMoney, buy cash power. Lord Efrek, you get points. Even when you redeem, your total points still stack up, giving you a chance to win one of 2 luxury AfriCell villas. AfriCell, 25 years of rewarding loyalty, and we're just getting started.
Welcome back from that short break. Here is an amusing 1-hour journey here with Mercy Witherspoon, a young Liberian entrepreneur here in the game, who is sharing her stories as someone who is residing outside the shores of her homeland, Mama Liberia. I hope you are enjoying the show. Those of you watching it on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and X, this is your brand new show, The Suitcase. You were speaking about, just before we could talk a break, about the guy who says that you work with him in a salon in the daytime and in the night you got another job to do. Tell us about the 2 shifts of work that you had to do in the day and at night.
Well, the day job was where I have to work at the salon,
Okay.
And the night was where he will force himself on me. Yeah. Because what happened was that Beijing is a very it's very expensive. It's the capital of China. So he gave me a studio apartment, and I really appreciated that, because it was hard to find place in such area, and I felt like this is great, so he kind of took advantage of that. The fact that because normally when you with most foreigners, when you give jobs, when you give them job opportunities, you have to find accommodation for them.
Okay.
So he took advantage of the fact that he rented a place in Beijing, and I needed to pay him back the other way. So yeah.
So that forced himself on. What was your initial reaction? That must have been very challenging, a young woman like you in a strange land, and against your will, somebody had to do that to you, and you had to survive. And
it was challenging.
How did you come to terms with that?
It was hard, honestly, because he was an older guy, and he took advantage also of the fact that, my documents were expired, and he had contact with the police, whatever. Because this is a guy that did movie with people like, American stars, and, he's a boxer, and he's well known in the community, in the Chinese and all that. So he took advantage of that situation, and yeah.
I can understand. How long did that last? How long did you have to go through such overwhelming life that you were not prepared for in a strange land with him?
I would say it went on for probably 3 months. Yeah, 3 months.
Okay.
And in the process, I got pregnant. So, yeah.
What happened to the pregnancy?
What happened was that, from the beginning, I was like, it was hard for me because I've never experienced such things. So I'm like, maybe with time I will get used to it. And there were times that, when I come home, I'd be tired, but he would just force himself on me anyhow. And he would threaten me and tell me, I'm renting this place, and I can, just call the police, and you'll get deported and stuff like that. So
So you had to live with all those fears and compromise yourself.
Exactly. I was tired every day. Every day I come from work, it was just something else. It was terrible. And yeah, in the process, like I said, I got pregnant in the process, and I told him, but that was after I moved out of his place. So there was one night he came home and he wanted to force himself again. And I said, no, I'm not doing it. I'm tired. He said, oh, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, you can go ahead and do it. I'm going to yell. You know, they are neighbors. I'm going to yell. I'm going to, you know, tell people what's really going on, you know, in here. And he said, I think you have to leave. So by then I met a Liberian guy, because what happened was that he kind of isolated me from the community, and he didn't want me to be part of the community. So he was telling me stories about the Liberians that, oh, the Liberians, yeah, they're not serious, you know, they're just doing whatever they can do to get money. So you should be careful. You shouldn't be you know, around those kind of people and stuff like that. They're the cause, you know, my wife is in prison, you know, and all that. So I was kind of, you know, scared. But there was a day I decided, because we were at the basement, and then upstairs they had the Liberian 18. So I decided to, you know, there was a lady that was working alone. She's late now, the late Lapu. So she's like, we should go get some Liberian food, because you eating Chinese food all the time. We should go. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, I think that's a great idea. I really miss tteokbokki and pan butter and all that. Right. So she's like, we should go. I'm like, okay. So we passed on the 18 while, you know, passing through, and that was how she met an old friend that she knew from Thailand, and they were so happy to see each other. But he was with another guy, so you know, of course the guy took interest in me, because he said he got, you know, attracted to me because the way I, you know, responded to somebody who was showing jobs at me. So that was how we started talking. This guy and I, we started talking, and when the guy I was staying with, when he threw me out, I immediately called this guy, and I told him what was going on. That
you're struggling with,
you know, yeah, this is what's going on, and blah blah blah. But this guy and I, we were on a couple of dates, and it was just mutual friends, and I guess he was just trying to, you know me. Okay. So definitely he's like, oh, you should charter, you know, you should take a taxi and come to Yanjo. So I'm like, you know, I left that place, you know, it's behind me. I don't want to go back there. He's like, but you don't have any other choice right now. You should definitely, you know, come to Yanjo and start up. You know, it's a start. So I took a taxi. It's the outskirts of Beijing. Okay. So I took a taxi that cost probably $100 or so. Okay. So I got to Yanjo. This guy was nice, left his bedroom, and you know, I started to stay in Yanjo without even knowing I was pregnant at that time. Okay. So I guess my reaction to me refusing was because of hormones, I guess. Okay. So I got to Yanjo, and my reaction to this other guy was just because now I'm afraid of, you know, people touching me and stuff. I'm just,
because all of the psychological impact the previous.
Exactly. I think it has some, you know, effects on me. So. And this guy was like, what is going on with you? You know, I didn't, you know, I'm nice to you. You know, I give you a place to stay and all that. You know, you should definitely be, excuse me. Okay. You should be grateful, you know. Of course, he didn't say that, but that's exactly what he meant.
Okay.
So after a week or so, I noticed that I was pregnant. I just did the test and I'm pregnant. So I called this my former boss, and I told him, I'm like, you know, I'm pregnant. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't know where you got that from.
Wow.
He's like, I don't know where you got that from. That it's not for me,
Tell
you know.
Me the feeling at that point.
It was, I didn't even know what to think at that time. At that moment, I didn't know what to how to react. I didn't know what to do. But the guy I was now staying with, he said, you know, I have a teenage daughter, so you can do whatever you please. You can keep the pregnancy if you want. Other options are, abortion. And abortion is very legal in China because, people are restricted to have only 2 kids, women. And if you go beyond that, you're going to be paying the government, I think, monthly or yearly. So because of that, abortion is very legal in China. So he's like, you can, you have options. So I'm like, I'm definitely not, I hate that guy. And if I have this baby, I'm gonna really hate this, child. So I don't want to have this. I don't want to have any memories of him. So that was how, of course I went to the hospital, and it cost me probably $1,000 because I had to do a lot of tests. They had to make sure that I'm okay before they can carry on the abortion. So yeah. It wasn't good,
that must have been very challenging for you.
Of course, life-threatening also.
Okay, that's the most challenging part of your travel. If we have to look at it, I'm sorry you had to go through such ordeal in life. Okay, we talked the negative. We can go to the positive. What was your most beautiful moment, or what has been your most beautiful moment that made you to say, "Oh, for me to have left my homeland, I think it was it."
I think
at
it
what
was.
point and where?
I think it was in China also. It was when I met George, the guy that I was now staying with.
Okay. Your rescuer.
My rescuer, exactly. I call him Savior. So he was very sweet to me. Honestly, he never forced himself, of course, and he understood what I was going through. I told him what happened. But he was very sweet towards me, and with time, we built a relationship, that lasted for a while.
Okay, that's beautiful. Your story is a very touching one. I hope somebody somewhere is going to be learning from your experience to prepare themselves for some of the challenges that come up in life. Fast forward, Senegal, Gambia. If you were to advise a first-time traveler who chooses destination Gambia, what would be a piece of advice to them for the Gambia?
A young Gambian?
No, a non-Gambian choosing destination Gambia as the first destination to travel.
Gambia it's a small, tourist country, of course, and people are welcoming, of course. So I think it's a great place if you are, non-Gambian, you're young African and you want to, just experience and travel, just see places. I think it's okay. There are lots of sites, there are lots of tourist, attraction that you can also, and you can meet people, there are lots of people that actually made it out of here. So I think it's a great start.
Okay, this remains the Suitcase. Wherever you are on the sound of our voices here, just in case you want to tap into this very opportunity to share your story whatsoever, you can call +220-271-0982 in case you wish to share your story quickly. Is there anything that we've not discussed that is very crucial as far as your life outside your homeland is concerned that you'd like to share with our audience?
Are you going to ask other questions?
So what's the most remarkable moment in your travel life that makes you to say, okay, in the midst of all the challenging period, how dark it was, painful, stressful in China or something, this one, it stays on my mind forever. Beautiful to say, hey, what's it for me to have left my homeland?
Beautiful moments.
Back to George in China or here in Gambia?
I've
that
had beautiful
distinctive moment you had that you live with it for a long time and say, well, okay, in the midst of all the trying time, this one paid for all the bad experiences.
I won't say, there are life experiences. I won't say, there's nothing that can really cover up everything that I've been through. Okay. But honestly, with God, being on my side, and with time, I've healed and I've met people, good people, and have conversations with, people who have been through similar situations. So yeah, but I won't say, I have great moments that that cover everything that I've been through, because those moments are always going to be there. They are my story, okay. And it is my story, of course. So
that's
part of it.
That's great there from you. Let me put this to you. What do you say to kids out there who at some point in time feel very challenged, taking their destinies in their own hands against the will and pleasure of the parents? What's your piece of advice to them, especially leaving their comfort zone for strange areas and so to speak, like you did? What do you have to say to them?
My dad always said, once you're not home, you're in the street. So it's not easy, it's not fun, it's no fun being in the street, especially when you don't have, the right people in support. So I always advise people to understand, where you're trying to get to. But again, it's life, and sometimes you tell people and they don't listen. But I would definitely say you should get enough information before, going to that country, that place, of your dream, that place you think that is gonna, change everything for you, because it might just be something else entirely. Yeah.
Fast forward, you've had all of these challenging experiences across the continent, and you're here in the Gambia, which you've praised as being a land that has favored you to some extent. Have you had other experiences outside the Gambia within the period? And
yeah, I've been to a couple of places.
Okay.
I went back to Asia, of course, but this time it was Thailand.
More favorable at this time.
Yeah, more, mature, because now I know what I'm doing, and I've had, that experience. So yes.
Okay, that's beautiful.
So yeah, I've been to other places.
Okay, you look here in the midst of the challenges, you're now bright, beautiful, moving forward. Things have changed. You might not be where you want to be, but you're definitely not where you used to be.
Exactly.
Tell us about what's going on in your life now in the Gambia, and so to speak. What do you do and all that?
For now, I do buy and sell cars.
Okay.
So I buy the car and use it for a while and just sell it. Or another thing is I have a beauty salon. For now I'm doing home service, but I have a place where I do beauty stuff, makeup, pedicure, massage, waxing, you just name it. So that's another hustle. I want to call it a side hustle. And I just buy and sell whatever that is valuable, just to keep moving. That's it. But I'm okay.
Okay, that's beautiful. I love the word you're okay. If people want to reach you regarding the service offer, what contact can they reach you? 521-7065. Okay. What
plus 220, of course.
Okay. What final motivational word do you have based on your experience before we take leave of you? Just in a line or sentence?
Stay true to your root. That's it. I think it's important to understand your struggle, to understand where you're from, no matter what. I always say, through all this, I always, stay true to myself, just by staying in alignment with, what my parents taught me, what I know from back home. Because there are families and friends who are watching, there are people who want to reach out and check on you. They want to know how you're doing. And they have been doing that for a while. And every time they reach out, I'm okay. So, yeah, I would say you should definitely stay true to yourself. All the training and everything, you acquire from, don't come in the street and, let, the street, take that from you. Because that's the only thing you have.
That's your identity.
Yeah, that's your identity. That's definitely your identity. Exactly.
Okay. It's beautiful having you on a Suitcase here. We're very super honored to have you on our show for the first time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, it's been a beautiful experience here with Mercy Witherspoon from Liberia. She shared her story that covers, struggles and triumph, and I hope somebody somewhere is inspired by her story. Just in case you wish to share your own story, you can dial +220-2710982, and it happens only on Teledar TV, the best online media outlet, not just in the Gambia, by extension the rest of our continent. Join us for our fresh edition next week. whence we will have had an opportunity to also tap into someone's story. And I hope it's been a beautiful experience with you. It comes away weekly with me, Tony Michael House, CKA, near Secretaries. Remember, from Sunday to Monday, it's closed, but from Monday to Sunday, it's far. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and X, and enjoy the rest of our formidable and amusing educative program here on Teledar TV. Bye-bye.
Every time you buy credit or data, that's a speed and win waiting on your My AfriCell app. 50 megabytes, 100 megabytes, 5 gigabytes of internet data. Tanga. Credit or data purchases, speed and win rec. AfriCell and AfriMoney, where loyalty pays and the fun never fades.